Oh, grapes. Steve, here's a bit of trivia for you. Who popularized the line, "Peel me a grape"?
Karl, really, I have no idea. And what's more,
I won't keep you in suspense. It was Mae West's 1933 movie, "I'm No Angel." And actually, the line was, "Beulah, peel me a grape."
Oh, very interesting, I'm sure.
Peel me a grape, French me a fry.
Peel me a carrot. In fact, peel me 6 carrots.
Yum, 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 yum.
Hi everybody and welcome to another edition of One Chef One Critic. I'm Karl Wells, food critic for The Telegram.
And I'm Chef Steve Watson of Central Dairies.
Grapes are the topic of the day.
Absolutely, Karl.
You have a little grape tip for us?
I do indeed. What I do, Karl, I keep some grapes in the freezer, nicely frosted like that. And if I want to chill my wine down, I will pour my wine like so, if I've just brought it from the liquor store. And to that, instead of putting ice cubes into it, which would water the wine down, I would just add some grapes like so, nicely frosted there from the freezer, as I said, and away we go to the races. How's that? And you could do that for sangria or something like that, or different kinds of fruit.
Or you could put one big grape in.
There you go.
One really big grape.
And why would you say a big grape?
Well, I found out that the biggest grapes in the world are grown in Japan.
Japan, really?
It's called the ruby grape. They're like that big. And they're also the most expensive grapes in the world. The ruby grapes cost for 1.5 pounds, $910.
Whoa!
That works out to $26 per grape.
Wow!
Yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, indeed.
Coming up on the program today, our guests are the fortunate ones, Andrew and Catherine. And what are we going to be... Oh, by the way, they're East Coast Music Award winners, too. What are we going to be making with them?
Going to be making a beautiful, beautiful poached salmon vinaigrette with leeks and peas.
Ooh, nice. And Chef Nick Jewczyk is going to be with us. He's from the Fifth Ticket restaurant. He's going to be making scallops with pork belly and a beet harissa puree. So stay tuned. For a complete listing of One Chef One Critic recipes, wine lists, and more, check out our website. Let us know what you think of the show at 757-9600. And it is our great pleasure to welcome to the One Chef One Critic kitchen the fortunate ones. Andrew O'Brien.
Hello.
And Catherine Allen.
Hey, great to meet you.
Lovely to have you.
It's a pleasure.
It's great that you could take time, between jetting from here to there to be with us.
You can always find time to eat.
Well, you have to. You have to keep your strength up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What are we doing?
So what we're going to be preparing today is a poached salmon, or in the oven, and we're going to be doing that with some leeks, and we're going to be making a nice vinaigrette. And to serve that, accompanying that, we'll get you two guys to... I've got some risotto cakes there. And to hold it together, I've used some arancetta and cheese and things like that. So we'll go ahead. And then we've got some Italian breadcrumbs there.
Yeah.
We'll put that in there, and we'll get started. What we're going to do for a start, we'll make our vinaigrette. So
Catherine's going to help make the vinaigrette.
absolutely.
Okay.
So we're going to go and get the whisk there, and we'll put a little bit of mustard into the thing there. And then I'll get you to start whisking, and then I'll pour in the olive oil. There.
You can do the flipping.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll do the breading and put them in. These risotto cakes.
Yeah.
So I have to congratulate you. You won an ECMA award.
We did.
So Rising Star Recording of the Year
Correct.
for the Bliss.
That's right.
Yeah. How did that feel?
It was amazing. We were, it's been a great year. The album's just over a year old now, and it was just kind of a great way to cap the cycle of the album's run,
Yeah.
And it was great. Our pals Hey Rosetta were there, and Amelia Kern finally got her first ECMAs, and
Yeah.
it was a really great
that's right.
weekend for sure.
Oh, that's great.
That's great. I'll just bring it to the side.
Now,
Yeah, perfect.
I have to say, I love your sound, and I mean, it's almost impossible to listen to the Bliss and not feel good afterward, you know, and while you're listening to it. It's really kind of, I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's a very easy recording to listen to, and it's just it's positive. It just makes you feel good. What was the experience like making it?
I'll put the leeks in the
Oh, do you want to take that one? What do you think?
I was looking at these amazing leeks.
She's spellbound by the leaks here. No, you know what?
It wasn't by my rhetoric.
Spellbound by both.
You.
No, it was a fantastic experience. We made it in Nova Scotia with an amazing producer named Daniel Ledwell, and he's got a great studio space on his property in Lake Echo, right on the in the woods on this beautiful lake.
Yeah.
And we recorded it in a February, so it was right in the middle of the winter, and we shoveled off the pond and we would skate. Between takes, it was a beautiful time.
It was a magical experience
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah.
Your producer was he's a multiple award winner as well, isn't he?
Absolutely, multi East Coast Music Award-winning producer, and he's been. I mean, this year alone, I think it was 17 ECMA awards he was a part of, and Juno
Wow.
nominations. He's a fantastic producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think these are about ready to
Good to
put
go.
in.
Perfect.
Oh, they look
I'm
amazing.
just gonna
Yeah.
Look at this.
Put
I've never
that
cooked
one
with
there.
leeks before.
Beautiful.
and that one there.
You were saying that the leeks cost more than the fish.
They did, yes.
Right on.
We're definitely in Newfoundland.
Vegetables are. Yeah, we actually grow leeks here, but not this time of the year.
Yeah.
But we won't actually tell people when we're filming this show. But anyway, you were a solo act before you two got together.
It was.
What was it like going from kind of being just you, to being you two?
Choose your words carefully.
no, I was just gonna say it was smartening up, really, going solo from solo to duo. I think it seemed like everything just got better almost immediately. The show became more compelling. We were equal partners. You know, it wasn't me and featuring Catherine. It was us together, and I think that kind of united front, I suppose, made everything a little more exciting. And yeah, it's been like literally since it happened, everything has
Come together.
Oh, it's absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Catherine, you were a flight attendant.
I was many things, and flight attendant was one of them. Yep.
So when you were flight attending,
Yep.
attending in flight,
Yes.
were you also sort of, in your spare time singing and playing?
Yeah, exactly. So I would tell my coworkers when we were on flights, I was like, yeah, I'm in a band. They're like, oh, cool. You know how you just kind of say that to friends, you don't know
Yeah.
if they're good
Yeah.
or whatever. Oh, yeah, right on, you're in
Yeah.
a band.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's in a
Yeah,
band.
totally. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it just kind of took over everything a couple of years later. So
Yeah. So now I'm assuming that your styles, although they were probably quite alike, there were probably differences between you in terms of your style. But then, when you became the fortunate ones, you had to kind of meld those styles together and evolve into the fortunate ones. Was that process kind of interesting?
I think it came together fairly naturally because we do come from different backgrounds musically and varied backgrounds, but at the same time there are core elements that are the same. We're really into acoustic singer-songwriter music, for example, so it kind of naturally became a thing. And we had been touring so much together, and we recorded that solo album together, even though it was just under my name. We just had that shared experience, and it kind of just came together.
But one interesting thing is that I was a trained pianist. I took classical
Right.
lessons up until I was 16 or so. So I read music and all of that. That's sort of my background. But Andrew can't read music, which astounds me because of his, I guess
That's very
intuition.
typical with Newfoundland musicians, though.
Yeah, it can be, for sure.
Yeah. Steve, you want to...
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the vinaigrette here. We're just going to pour it over, like
Oh,
so.
That's amazing.
And it's all going to seep through, of course. And then we'll pop this in the oven for, I would say, 15 minutes max, because you don't want to have you don't want to overcook the salmon. And then about 5 minutes before it's ready, we're going to be putting the peas on the top of it, and then that'll just finish off nicely. And again, serving it that with our risotto.
No, I
cake,
think
so.
you should probably attempt to turn... That's why I've given you both these little offset
I'm
spatulas
doing
here.
an immense amount of pressure.
You just had to be very careful and
Okay.
I flip one over, yeah.
What would Bobby Flay do?
don't do it quickly. Just do it.
Some
Very
TLC with it.
gingerly.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Oh,
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh my
Amazing.
goodness. Very impressed, very impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
A man of many talents now.
You got to get all 4 of them over now.
That's the trick. Get him over before the show's done.
Yeah. Yeah, the Asiago cheese is
Or before they burn, whichever
Yes.
comes first.
What would Jeremy Charles do?
There we go.
Actually, what we can do
Beautiful.
now, Carl, we can turn that off and the heat will bring that
And
through.
the heat
so-
will just let the
Yeah, it will.
Amazing.
Through, yeah.
There we go.
I did it.
Pressure, the pressure.
The pressure.
It's bad
indeed,
enough
yeah,
at
yeah,
home,
yeah.
but when you're on national
Man,
television.
it's something else.
did well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you started out playing the piano, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then you took up the piano accordion.
Yeah.
So-
It was, my brother introduced me to the piano accordion.
Yeah.
He played with Sherman Downey for a long time, and
Oh,
his
right,
band
yeah,
played piano accordion. And I remember a couple years ago, he brought home this giant piano accordion. I was like, "What is this instrument?" And
Yeah.
I knew the girl from Arcade Fire played piano accordion, so
Right.
I was like, "Oh, I'll give it a try." And yeah, I've been playing it ever since.
Yeah,
so
good for
yeah.
you. Yeah.
it's a bit
Well,
fun.
listen, I'm going to duck out for a couple of minutes because everything's under control.
It
We
is,
have
it is.
now we have to find a wine to go with all of this marvelous food. Okay, so I will
Perfect.
be back. You keep learning things from Stephen here.
There you
Sounds
go.
good.
Maybe if I can just get you to stand to the side
Absolutely.
there. And we will pop this in the oven very quickly. And like I say, 15 minutes in the oven. And then we'll pop the peas in and away we go.
Yum.
That's it.
So I guess we'll probably go with a nice Boone's or something.
Absolutely. Well, I can't.
And I see Greg Winter of Dialogue Wines in the Wine Cellar. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Carl.
Well, we've got a nice gently cooked piece of salmon with risotto cakes today. So what wine would you suggest to go with this
Well,
seafood dish?
I think what we want to focus on, Carl, you said gently cooked. So we don't want to select a wine that's going to overwhelm the dish. So typically with seafood, you think white wine. Not all the time, but I think that some people, they want red wine. So we have a selection here.
Great.
And the first one I'm going to show you is called Marquis de Riscal. This is a Spanish wine from a winery that's actually quite known for their red wines.
I recognize the name.
That's right. But this is their new Sauvignon Blanc that they just released. Retails for about $20 at the NLC. It has really quite nice grassy herbaceous notes, some nice acidity to pair with that vinaigrette on your dish, and I think it actually makes for a great pairing. The second wine I'm going to show you is called Teche Deep Blue, and this is a white wine. The grape would be called Spätburgunder. Some people know it as Pinot Noir here, but it is in fact a white Pinot Noir. I won't get into the complications of the winemaking,
Right,
but just take my word for it. And Deep Blue, as the name would suggest, pairs really well with all seafood dishes.
Okay.
And finally, for those who really insist on a red wine, I think that you'd have to go with a Pinot Noir or perhaps even a Gamay style wine, because you need something that's soft in tannins, and I think that the cherry notes in this Henry of Pelham Pinot Noir from Niagara here in Canada won't overwhelm the dish. I think it'll be okay. It'll work well for those who really insist on having a red wine.
Okay, a lot of really interesting choices today, and I'm intrigued by this Marqués de Riscal because I have had their Rioja, and I want to try this one, the white, just to see what it's like.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
Now, after 15 minutes in the oven, our beautiful salmon vinaigrette with peas and leeks, and our risotto cake on the angle there. And let's go and see what Catherine, Andrew and Carl think about this in the dining room.
A nice crisp white wine to go with this delightful looking repast. You did a great job on the risotto cakes there, Vinny.
I felt the pressure
Yeah,
to perform.
and that vinaigrette looks smashing.
Thank you.
So we'll have a little taste now and
All right.
see. I'm going to taste this risotto first. Nice browning on the outside.
Yeah, crisp.
They were flipped nicely.
Delicious. Nice crust on the outside, Andrew.
Beautifully encrusted. Wonderful flavors.
Absolutely. I like it.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's a keeper. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with risotto.
Now, you guys come from two different coasts of Newfoundland, right?
We do.
Like you're from Corner Brook.
I'm from Corner Brook.
Oh, you're from, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I got
No
it
worries.
switched up. You're from Corner Brook. You're from Mount Pearl?
Yeah, suburb of St. John's.
Suburb of St. John's. So
Mount Pearl?
there's always been this like kind of yin-yang thing going on between the East Coast and the West Coast. When I was a kid, I'd go over and I'd stay with relatives on the West Coast, and they'd say, oh, here he comes from the fog capital of North America.
Yeah.
How's it going over there in the fog in St. John's, right?
That's what my parents are still like. The weather's great out here in Corner Brook.
But so was there any? Did that create any interesting tensions between you both, or did it add to your musical creativity in any way? Did you draw upon any inspiration from your hometowns?
Well, we met in Corner Brook, which is sort of cool. I was playing at a festival with my brother's cover band, sort of the first time I sang in public, and Andrew went to university out there. So even though Andrew's from Mount Pearl, I think we consider him an honorary Corner Brookian. So,
That's kind of where I got my start playing music, was in Corner Brook, and I think, if anything, it kind of ties the two coasts together for us. It's having two home bases on the one island, and so we consider shows in Corner Brook hometown shows, as we do in St. John's, so it's pretty great.
So did you both grow up in musical families?
Yeah. My parents can't sing a tune. Love you, Mom and Dad, if you're watching.
They are.
They know that they can. But the great thing about my parents is that they put us in a bit of everything growing up. So they had us in, swimming and triathlons along with music lessons. So we got a kind of taste of everything. And it was my brothers who really influenced me to play music. So there was, always music going on in my house.
Yeah, and in our house, my mom was always playing music kind of on the record player or the tape machine, children. And but there was no real performing of music. I guess I was in school choirs and stuff like that, but hockey was king in our house growing up. Then I went to theater school in Corner Brook, started writing songs, and that's it. That's where we are now.
So the fortunate ones, I know, having met you and having seen your success, that you are very fortunate. But how did you come up with the name, The Fortunate Ones?
That was all Andrew.
Yeah, Hey Rosetta was taken. No, I mean,
It's not exactly one you just like plug out of pull out of the shelf, is it?
the depths of a heady novel, I'm sure. No, we just, we believe in kind of having an attitude of gratitude and trying to make connections with our audiences in a meaningful way. And I think that, yourselves, you can attest to it. Doing what you love is a privilege. It's not a right. And we try to maintain that attitude.
Yeah.
Even, if you're on tour for 2 months and you're feeling tired, it's
Like we just were.
it's an important mantra to remember,
Yeah. Anyway, I wish you all of the best in the future. I predict a grand future for both of you and the fortunate ones. You've gotten off to a great start. Thanks for being on One Chef, One Critic. It's
Cheers.
been,
No, it's a pleasure.
Cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
a delight.
Cheers.
And coming up next on the program, we have Chef Nick Jewczyk from the Fifth Ticket, and he's going to make a dish of pork belly, scallops, and a beautiful beet puree flavored up with harissa. Stay tuned. Well, the Fifth Ticket has rapidly become one of the downtown's most popular full package entertainment venues. It has dining, it has private room dining, it has, it's got full bar service, it's got a separate lounge, it's got all kinds of things going for it, including sometimes even live music. And it's located at a very familiar venue on Water Street, taking pride of place at 171 Water Street. And we're very happy to welcome the executive chef of the Fifth Ticket to One Chef, One Critic today, Nick Jewczyk. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you very much, Karl, and thank you, Steve.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Nick, for coming along. So what are we going to be preparing today? I see scallops, I see
Yeah, we've got some pork belly, scallops.
Pork belly,
It's
yes.
a dish off our evening menu. We've got a harissa beet puree. We try to focus on local ingredients
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
restaurant,
yeah.
so we've got some local beets. We've got some beautiful placental-based scallops. I'll
Perfect.
just get started with them.
Absolutely, let's get cooking.
And I like to make sure they're nice and dry.
Before you put them into
before I put them
into
into
the pan. Yeah,
So just give them a little tap like that.
perfect.
You've got two ingredients that have really risen in popularity in the last few years, beetroot and pork belly.
Bellies, yes,
Absolutely.
indeed.
There was a time when pork belly, all we used it for was just slicing
temperature.
bacon. And it was kind of a secondary ingredient, but now it's kind of become a principal ingredient in a lot of dishes.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile. We love using pork belly at the restaurant. Of course, we make our own bacon as well. So when we're not doing that, we do a different process with this pork belly, where we sous vide it for about 24 hours prior to bringing it up for service.
So sous vide, just explain to our guests.
Sous vide is when we basically we have a thermal regulator, which is basically a water pump, which
Yep.
has a very consistent control. In fact, it's to a tenth of the degree of Fahrenheit.
Yep.
We can regulate the temperature and really cook things slower for longer and be sure that they're really precise cook time on them.
Perfect.
So if anybody wants sous vide, go out to a restaurant,
Absolutely.
go to the Fifth Ticket.
Yeah,
Don't try it at home.
that's right.
And speaking of which, if you want pork belly, go out to a restaurant.
Of course. So we're just frying, getting it nice and caramelized here now. Thank you, Steve.
Perfect.
Ah, the sound of cooking, the crackle of the frying pan.
So how will we decorate our plate?
Absolutely. So with our harissa beet puree, harissa is kind of a South American spice mixture, and basically pairs really well with the earthiness of the beet. We just do a nice slice like that.
What do you call that? I call that a swoosh.
Yeah, swoosh or a slice. It's
So we'll swoosh it.
we'll swoosh it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, just scallops should be just done. We just wanted to get them nice and crispy on the outside. And the thing I love about
Al dente,
scallops is
yeah.
a nice al dente
Yeah,
and almost back to raw in the center. So we just tap them off here.
Yeah, the way they've caramelized there, nice heat, and you just used a little bit of oil in there, wasn't
A
it?
little bit of oil
and then
and
butter
then
to finish.
a little bit of butter to finish. Yeah, it helps with the color.
Perfect.
So we'll just put it in there like so. And then our pork belly here, I brought it in a couple states, but this is after we fry it to a nice golden brown. Just set it alongside like that.
Okay.
You see the colors
Oh my
there.
goodness, yes.
And then what we do is we take some parsnip and shave it with like a peeler, like you would a carrot,
Yep.
and then quickly fry that.
Now, is
Give-
that deep fried when you do
We,
that?
we deep fry it at a low temperature because the sugars in the parsnip tend to burn.
To burn, yeah.
So then
yeah.
we just garnish it up with the
Now, is this something on your menu, you
parsnip.
said?
Yeah, this is on our evening menu, our scallops and pork belly.
Now, see, this is much better than bacon wrapped scallops.
Well, it's kind of a take on that, and right, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Okay, so let's have a try,
absolutely,
if you don't mind.
of course.
No, I'll let you try it, Carl.
Okay, well, look, I'm going to go right for that pork belly
I'm
because
sure you are.
I really,
Nice and tender, isn't
you know, I don't have it at home. I have it in restaurants because it's a treat,
it? Yeah, yeah.
and that's really good.
Excellent, thank you.
I like that harissa.
Yeah,
So
it's-
would you serve this in the bar as well, or is it just
yeah,
in the main
well,
dining, or-
we have a bar menu where we try to really push bar food for people who are looking for a pint.
Yeah.
But we're a yes restaurant, so when
Yeah.
customers ask for something, we're always helpful, or we're always looking to do them, so they can have the dining room menu in the bar as well.
Perfect.
Melt in the mouth,
Perfect.
scallop.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for being on the show, Nick.
very welcome.
And
My
all the
pleasure.
best to you and the folks at the Fifth Ticket.
Thank you.
And that's it for this edition of
One chef.
One Critic.
That's beautiful.
Would you try the
Yeah,
scallop?
would you like to pass me a fork there, Carl? Maybe I will try it. Thank you very much, sir.
It's one of the more popular things at the restaurant.
that's
so.
scallop.
Yeah. I'll finish off this pork belly.
Oh. Got a bit of cumin in there
A
as
little
well.
bit of cumin, a
Oh.
little bit of heat. Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely.
Yeah,
Roast
it
them,
gives
okay.
you the kick, yeah.
I smell the cumin. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition of One. Sorry. Hi, everybody. It's the grape. It's the grape. It's the grape.